Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. The topic today is very difficult to understand how we think, how individuals think. And doesn't mean the thinking process is right or wrong or um, pro or con or whatever, but it is a different thinking process. Things grab people through ways that, I mean, I don't think people really understand themselves. I don't really think they truly understand the process which goes in developing their own thought patterns. Many things have started since they were kids. They have all kinds of issues, um, you know, influenced by schooling, by companions that they've had, by relationships that they've had. And it doesn't explain, the demands of today's world that people have to really engage in their thinking process. That's one of the main reasons I stress critical thinking. Critical thinking. You have to think hard about what is being said. Yes, there's emotions, always emotions. You can't get rid of those guys. Um, if those who are proficient in meditation may be able to circumvent some of that, but most of us aren't that proficient. I certainly try meditation, but it doesn't necessarily create a barrier to emotions rising and flipping the coin. I mean, I'm an emotional guy, I think. I mean, yeah, I guess I am. But the reason it brought this topic to mind is that we should try to at least explore why we think the way we do. And it was, I don't watch TV. I don't have television. I don't watch serials. I watch clips on YouTube or whatever, and Prime. And sometimes I'm wondering now about whether I should just continue a Prime because of not because of the content, which is not really inclined to what we think here, but they're changing their whole Prime pattern. The whole Amazon return policies are changing subtly here and there. So, I mean, it's just the way things go. They just change. You have to make decisions. It's not just return anything now. It must be in an unused condition. Unused. Now, how the heck you know if you even want the thing if you don't use it? Or if it's whether it's broken or not. If you don't use it, they have stipulations being built into it, which is common for businesses to do to slowly integrate and slowly create a pattern that you ingratiate yourself in, and then you're locked because don't go any farther. Well, in the mind, and I think it mirrors what I'm trying to say about the mind. I think we do the same things to ourselves because, and I've seen this happen many times in life, and I think you have too. This Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian. Those who don't know, he's a late night show comedian. He hosted the Oscars, I think it was, and right in the middle. I mentioned it. I think I mentioned this in the last clip, but right in the middle of the Oscars, or he got a message that, you know, Trump was bombarding him with name calling and all this stuff. You know, same typical nonsense that that none of us, as mature people, would do to anybody. But because he has a mouthpiece, he has a platform, he can do it, and he does it, and he doesn't care one iota about social norms. Well, this Jimmy Kimmel had quite an interesting retort, and I found it quite interesting. But in the show that he did, he mentioned his Oscars thing, and he did a little clip where he went down to the man on the street kind of thing, and he asked several people, did you know? And he told right out the bat to us viewing this clip that the first part of this was a lie. And so I'm not going to go through all the things because, you know, memory doesn't serve as much. But one of the things he did, he goes to one, you know, middle-aged woman and said, you know, would you vote for Joe Biden? It was just determined he paid off a porn star for the $130,000, and you know, it was, you know, it's in the news. Would you, you know, vote for him? What would you do? And her reaction was immediate. You know, no, take him down, jail him, you know, whatever you can, do it to him. Which is kind of surprising that they would be that vitriol right there from a simple on-the-street TV questioner. You know, you thought the defense mechanisms would be raised. And then a second guy, but this guy had a MAGA hat on and, you know, and all that. So, again, similar question was raised, you know, what Trump had did, you know, but he didn't frame it that way. He says, you know, Biden did whatever. And, yeah, terrible, you know, he should be in jail. Yeah, same kind of shtick. And then when they found out that, oh, no, this was just a lie, that Trump, we were just joking here, you know, it's Trump that did it. Well, yeah, but Trump had reason for it, and yeah, Trump was this, and yeah, you know, no problem, because it's Trump. Well, that tells you something, doesn't it? I know it's not a scientific poll or whatever, but it raised many an idea to me in conversations I've had with people who are only supporting something because of the one level, a veneer of thought, that the depth of the thought is minimal. It just is minimal. The question raises, we know they do more than that. You know, we all have the capabilities of drilling down more than just the veneer, more than just the partisanship, more than just, you know, the God-loving Trump thing or the hate-rousing Biden thing. We know that there's more to it than that. We all know that. So how do we know what people are really doing in their minds and hearts when whatever the key is that stimulates people to become this, hard-nosed and stubborn about acquiring or listening or developing new information? Equating even the Bible, the eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It's an equation. It's an equalizing status. An eye for an eye. You take an eye out, you get an eye out. You know, mean, of course. It's not something we would do in this Western world. I mean, some people would, but most of us wouldn't be thinking that way. But it was, that's the way things were. But we have, not just because we've advanced, because the thinking back in those times were this, the brains were the same. The amount of data is different. The sources are different. But the brain is the same. It functions the same. It has different, cultural influences, etc., etc. But what is stopping those people in the Jimmy Kimmel shtick? First of all, are they plants? And you can have all kinds of questions. But you see it in people you've talked to. You see the immediate rise of a non-point, the contrariness, just because it has to do with, my neighbor or my husband or whatever, some bias. I guess bias is a good word. Some bias comes up, and you wonder why. Why isn't it the critical thinking aspect? The energy, is it amount of energy it takes? I don't think so. It doesn't take that much energy to kick your brain into starting to think. And I know I have my own biases, and I know that I have to put a little more effort into certain things in order to understand. But there are things that I finally come down to and say, okay, this is bad. This is good. Until some other major influential data bank comes down the line and shows me different. You have to make decisions at some point of what is good and bad in your lives and what it does to your family, what it does to your society. But these individuals showed me that there's much, much more complexity that I wasn't thinking about. And it doesn't change much. I'm not saying it changes the whole sphere of humanity and all that. It doesn't. It's one idea. It's one basic tooth in the cog. It's just one. But like in a gear, if a tooth goes bad and it breaks in that gear, you have a problem. The brain or the machine or whatever that's using that gear does not function well. It doesn't function well. And that's where critical thinking comes in, to find out where the problem is. Is it a gear problem? Is it a tightening of a screw here and there or whatever? To find a solution that is amenable to reason and logic, and you apply your emotions, your faith, the rest of you into that, but you understand it better. The point of this is we are complex, much more complex than we can come up with, but we're not just, you say something about Joe Biden, that he paid a porn star, and immediately go send him to jail. You don't even think that the guy didn't do it. You immediately think he did it. To this, Trump paid a porn star, what did he do? Well, he had a right to do that. That's the kind of guy he is. They're two separate worlds, but they're not. The thinking process goes in both. We are obligated to think reasonably and correctly, as best as we can, to make that effort. Can we be wrong? Absolutely. Will we be wrong? Probably. Is anybody 100% right? No. Who can be that? It's an effort. It's a societal effort. I just wanted to raise that because I found that little clip enlightening to me, because it raised another level of understanding about people. And that's important. Agape, accept, You don't have to just buy everything they do, but you can accept the fact that people are trying. It's difficult. It's a hard world. It's more hard than ever. And so if you like what you hear, please subscribe. If you hit the like button, and again, one of these days I'll know what it does. And other than tell me it liked, the clip is liked. But comment, please comment. And again, it's not just for me. You're not commenting to me. You're commenting to everybody else out there. You're letting your mind free and just relate your thoughts. It's a vehicle to do that. Again, I have a small viewership, but the people are, worthy of your thoughts and your spirit, and share it. So thanks for listening. Have a good day, and bye for now.